Hey guys, welcome back to Top Tipper Betting Tips. I trust you had a fantastic day out at Greyville today and you're still counting your money from the jackpot 2 that we tipped. Captain Corrupt ran third. Yeah, we don't know what happened with that horse today. But anyway, we march along. We tipped the first jackpot. We broke even there. The second jackpot, 256 Rand, returned 1,526. So that was fantastic tipping from the kid. And we're going to have the postman that's going to be tipping out at the Vaal. So I'm going to hand you over to the postman for his analysis.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, no matter where in the world you guys are. And a big warm welcome to the Top Tipper family. Racing comes to us on Tuesday, the 14th of Feb. We're at the Vaal Classic track, and there are 8 races carded. Guys, before we get into any selections, please just check weather conditions. I know that they've had a lot of rain out there, so please, before structuring bets, go through, check jockey changes, check scratchings, and again, just check horses that fancy the wet. Guys, go on to the first race on the card. I think there are some races where we can go very, very short, and 1 or 2 that we can go wide. So the first race is due off at 12:40. This is a classified stakes over 2,400 meters. And the first race, guys, we find, I think, my value bet of the day. And I think this is horse number 2, Banner Bridge. Cabela Maziani gets the ride here for the Dawson yard. And we at Top Tipper, we're certainly going to have a touch on this. Currently around about 72, and we think that this is the right one. For second, I have gone for the 5. This is Namakwa Blossom. That did run behind Banner Bridge last time out. Was staying on, and again, I think that this is probably the one to run second. For third, I've gone for the 1, Fraud. Gav Lorena gets a ride here for the Moffat yard, and I certainly think that we can throw in the 1 and the 5 in our exactors, and swingers take 2, 1 and 5. For fourth, I have gone for the 4. This is Battleground. Keegan DeMello gets a ride here for the Huda Larkus yard. At this stage in time, I do think that this is the current favourite, and we've selected that one to run fourth. The bipots, guys, I think 2 and 5 are the right ones. Smaller punters, banker the 2, and know your fate early. So we've gone 2, 5, 1, 4, and I really do fancy horse number 2. Second race on the card, due off at 13:15, a graduation plate over 1,800 meters. And this race, I think, is a little trickier than the last. My narrow first selection here is 2, Diesel and Dust, Randall Simons for the Matchett yard. I think that Diesel and Dust will jump. I think will sit up there, and again, I think will be a hard nut to peg back. Must be included in everything. For second, I've gone for the 5. This is Perfect Witness. Again, this is Keegan DeMello from the Dawson yard. Again, I do think that this one will sit handy, and I think the 2 and the 5 will be left to fight this one out. For third, I've gone for Laguna Verde, Gav Lorena for the Huda Larkus yard. And again, I think this is good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. For fourth, we've gone for the 7, Billy Spellbound, Ray Dennison for the Terry yard. I do think that this one will be ridden from the back. If it is wet, I think it will be very, very tough for this one to run on. If the going is on top and they're running very, very quick, maybe elevate the 7 to run a drum, and throw the 7 in your bipots if the going is not wet. But at this stage in time, I've gone 2, 5, 4, and 7. Guys, we move on to the third race on the card. Third race is due off at 13:55, and this is a graduation plate over 1,000 meters. Again, when we go through this one, generally the outside draws are better, especially if it's wet. We've got a very, very short price favourite here, horse number 1, Move and Shaker. I think currently around about 3 or 4 to 10. I honestly think it's far too short. I certainly won't be taking that. However, must be included in everything. The second favorite is the 3. This is Twin Strike. This is currently round about 4-1, 9-2. And I certainly think that this Twin Strike is going to give this favorite a run for its money. I'm going to take box exactors 1 and 3. The 3 I'm certainly going to throw into the pick 6. Even the buy pot, I'm looking to throw it in and hopefully double up. Other than that, I can see nothing else. So when we talk about the third race, 1, 3, 5, and 6, concentrate on 1 and 3 in all exotics. The fourth race of the card, you're off at 14:30, merit rated 73 handicap for the girls, over 1,000 meters. And in the fourth event, guys, my first selection here is horse number 6, Samoa. Gavlarina for Bridget Stidolf. I do think that Samoa is drawn on the right side of the track. Gavin knows how to get the best out of Samoa, and I really think that this one will go close. For second, I have gone for the 2. This is Aniara. Dennis Swaz gets the ride here for the Niverhazen yard. Last time out, jumped, went like the clappers, found extra, and hang on to win the race. I know it's a little bit tougher, however, it is the third run after rest. I think this one is cherry ripe, and again should give a decent account of itself. For third, guys, we've gone for the 8, Love Bite, Nathan Klink for the Broncos yard. Again, I think this one will go really, really well. I think, again, is drawn on the right side and should not be left out of any permutation. For fourth, I have thrown in horse number 10, Beaded Gun, to fill in the back end of trifectas and quartets. I really think that 2, 6, and 8 will be sufficient for all exotics. We move on to the fifth race on the card, and the fifth race is due off at 15:05. Met rate at 89 handicap, again for the girls, and again over 1,000 meters. In the fifth race, guys, I think this is quite a tough event, and I think we should load up here. My narrow first selection is May Queen, horse number 1. Pierre Stradum gets a ride here for Heather Adamson. I think that May Queen is better than her last start. She won her penultimate in good style. Watch and see how Samoa does before having a touch on the nose. If Samoa runs well, then I think we can have a small touch on May Queen. I know she's carrying 62 on her back, but I really think that this one is in with a chance. For second, guys, we have gone for horse number 3, Rosa Trippy, Gavin Arena for the Azzy yard. If I'm looking for a negative, drawn on the inside, I think could be drawn on the wrong side. But again, shouldn't be left out of larger perms. For third, I've gone for the 4, Rosario. This is Ryan Munger for the Fortune yard. Again, drawn on the right side. I really think that this one, again, in a tough race, must be thrown into all exotics. For fourth, we've gone for the 5. This is Queen of Gaul. Cabela Matsiana gets a ride for the De Kock yard. Again, I think drawn on the right side of the track. And as I said, in a tough race, I'm throwing this one in. Guys, put in as many as the budget would allow. So the fifth race, guys, we have gone 1, 3, 4, and 5. We'll move on to race number 6. And race 6 is due off at 15:40, merit rated 80 handicap to be run over 1,600 meters. And in the 6th race, guys, I honestly think this is a match race. And my first selection here is horse number 2, Southern Blaze. Falasande Ntoli gets your ride here for Stewie Pettigrew. This one gets on really well with Falasande. Last time out, ran on really well. I think that it did run against stronger. I know it's up in weight, but I certainly think that Southern Blaze again will give a good account of itself. For second, guys, we have gone for horse number 6. This is Indus Knight, Gavlarina for Candace Dawson. I think if this one can jump and get up there handy, I think that this one will go very close. For third, we've thrown in horse number 1, and this is Invincible Warrior, Keegan DeMetta for the Tarry Yard. This one, guys, is coming back from a long rest of 45 weeks. I do think it has run too stronger, maybe in need of the outing. Just watch this one going down if having a touch on the nose. For fourth, guys, we've thrown in horse number 7, and that is Duke of Rain, Ray Danielson for the Huda Larkus Yard. Last time out, this one finished third. Was cramped late, finished coughing. I don't think that that was the strongest of races, but maybe good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. So race 6, guys, 2, 6, 1 and 7, and as I said, I do think that it's a match race between 2 and 6. We move on to race 7, due off at 16:10, mid-rated 96 handicap over 1600 meters. And in this event, guys, we find the second of my value bets, and this is horse number 3, Fateful Day. Ray Danielson for the Gavin van Zyl Yard. Last time out ran second to Southern Blaze, so if Southern Blaze goes close in race 6, we can certainly have a go here. It was drawn in the bush and has had bad draws in its last 3 outings. I certainly think that from draw 4, I think this one will be a little handier than it has been, and I really think that this is a decent each way bet at around about 4.5 to 1. So first choice is 3, Fateful Day. For second, guys, we have gone for horse number 9, and this is Trident King Muzieni for the Roy Magda Yard. Last time out beat Bayesier, the time before that again beating Coming and Hot. This one gets on very well with Muzi, and I certainly think again should give a decent account of itself. For third, guys, we've thrown in the horse number 7. This is Meredith, Ryan Munger for the Fortune Yard. And again, I think good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. For fourth, we've gone for the 2, Express from the US, Dennis Swans for the Tyrone Zaki Yard. I'm putting a line through its last run. I certainly think that it will be better suited to the 1600 meters. Has had 6 runs in the wet for 2 wins. My apologies. Has had 7 runs in the wet for a win and 2 places. And I certainly think that, again, this one may be good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. So in race 7, guys, 3, 9, 7, 2, and I do think 3 is a decent each way bet. We move on to the lucky last. I think this is again another tough event, putting as many as the budget would allow. This is Joff at 1640, mid rated 70 handicap, over 1200 meters. And as I said, I think it's a tough race. Narrow first selection is 2, Stroke of Mercy, Muzieni for the Corrie Lensley Yard. I think this will be running on when others have cried enough. However, will have to be ridden for luck. Draw 9 out of 11, but must be including all exotics. For second, I've gone for the 1. This is Smith & Wesson, Gabriel Peterson for Paulie Matchett. Gabriel has ridden it the last 2 occasions for a second and a third. And again, I think that this one will be there when the whips are cracking. For third, guys, we've gone for horse number 9. And this is Big City Girl. Ryan Munger for Cornet Space, only carrying 52.5. And again, good enough for back end of trifectas and quartets. For fourth, we've gone for the 7, Written in Stone, Jeff Seister for the Brett Weber Yard. Jeff always rides well for the yard. Jeff has ridden this one and ridden well every time he's jumped aboard this 7-year-old son of Pathfork. Just as I said, guys, putting as many as the budget would allow in the last, I think it's very tough. Pick 6. As I said, I think we can go light in 3 races, load up in the other 3. Place accumulator, I think we can go light in the first 2 legs, load up as the day goes on. Bipot, we can also go light in the first 3 legs and load up as the day goes on. I do fancy both my value bets. And as I said, I really think that Banner Bridge will be hard to beat. Guys, as I said early on, please just watch the betting on some of the first timers. Watch for jockey changes, watch the going. I certainly think that it's going to be wet, and just take care, look after yourself. Stephen, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that input, the postman. We appreciate that. I see you've got two value bets, Banner Bridge and Fateful Day, around 33 to 10, 4 to 1. I see you've tipped your 8 race program, your bar pot, your PA, your pick 6, your jackpot 1 and jackpot 2. Please, Lord, let them arrive for the punters, and let's keep the good form going forward. So, guys, enjoy your racing out at the Vaal. Have fun, break a leg, and cheers for now.